Alright fellas, let's do a compare and contrast on two great types of bikes. I'm not going to go over the spec sheets, just impressions after owning and riding a 950 Super Enduro R and a 690 Enduro. The Big Twin takes the cake on pavement and highway riding. Pavement means traction, and that lets you use all the power of the Big Twins. Passing cars on the 950 is fun. It's easy on the 690, but not as enjoyable. The bars vibrate more on singles, and 300 miles of pavement feels like a long day, but 690 is a lot of fun in the twisties. The 950 will go almost anywhere the 690 will, it just takes more effort. The 690 weighs about 100 pounds less and has a peaky, quick revving engine. The 950 is pretty luggable, which helps in the slow technical stuff. Other big singles that I've owned have had similar torque down low, but they lack the horsepower and the higher revs of the 950. Wheelies and jumps on the 690 require less precise technique and less physical effort. Anything I've ridden on my 690 I'd also ride on the 950, but it would take more energy. Riding two-track and crappy dirt roads on Big Twins, you'll spend more time picking your line and managing riding techniques, whereas on a big bore Thumper, you're playing around looking for extra jumps and kickers. The 690 revs super quick, and I can't stress enough how much fun that 690 engine is from about 5,000 RPM up. Instant horsepower and wheel spin on anything short of pavement. My 690 was prone to stalling at lower revs. On a Big Twin, you'll find yourself shifting less and enjoying that broad spread of power. And let's not forget that sound. The Big Twin sounds amazing, like a freaking trophy truck. The Thumpers have never blown up my skirt. I'm about 5'10" with a 32-inch inseam. Both these bikes can be tall, but they're manageable. Just ride them like big dirt bikes. Pick where you're going to stop, learn to be okay with only putting one foot down, and you'll be fine. Both bikes have smooth clutch actuation and shifting. I found false neutrals in the 690, not so much on the 950. The 690 has a slipper clutch, which is great. Just bang down the gears and let the slipper clutch figure it out. It feels like the Big Twins have a wider ratio transmission, which means less shifting, and it's really nice on longer rides. Both bikes have a single disc setup, which minimizes unsprung weight on dirt roads and works to varying degrees on pavement. The 690 brakes work extremely well everywhere, tons of feel and power. By comparison, the 950 single disc up front seems a little underpowered on pavement. Most big bore twins have dual discs up front, giving them more stopping power than the 950. On the dirt, brake feel and power on the 950 is quite good. The stock forks on the 950 work better for me than they did on the 690. For my weight and style, both bikes had to be ridden hard to use the stock suspension. Seems to me that bigger and heavier bikes get, the more important good suspension becomes. I think it's a good idea to upgrade suspension on both bikes. There are twice as many valves to do on a twin versus a Thumper. Generally, there are longer service intervals on the twins. It's pretty easy to reach the guts of the 690 to do valves and oil changes, but it can be a pain to remove the bodywork and gas tanks in order to access big twin engines. If you have a shop do your maintenance, prepare to spend more on the twin. Steering lock on early 690s is very limited. It gets really annoying when you need to turn around. It's a little better on the 950. I average about 38 miles a gallon on the 950 and 48 miles a gallon on the 690, so range may be an issue if you have stock tanks on the 690. The 690 is fuel injected and complicated. Just look at all the crap under the seat. Usually it's not a problem, but I had an electrical connector rub a hole in my 690's ECU, which cost me hundreds of dollars in repairs and left the bike dead for months. Carbureted bikes trade performance for reliability, but at least you can ride them. Basically, the 690 is more fun to ride in the dirt. The 950's ability to comfortably and enjoyably cover miles of highway means you'll get to ride the same kind of dirt you would on the big single, but in a greater variety of places. On the twin, you just have to pay a little more attention and use some more technique and spend a little extra energy. If you're comfortable and confident in your abilities riding a big single like the 690, step up to the Big Twins. You'll be able to handle the extra weight and you'll get to ride a lot more places. I think it's a great part of adventure riding, and that's why I picked the twin over the big bore Thumper.